Hi everyone, my name is Shayna from the new Richmond Branch Library. Today I'm going to be showing you a unique and fun way to paint an entire canvas without using any paintbrushes. That's right. I'm going to be showing you how to paint an entire canvas, a festive canvas, without using paintbrushes. We will be using a few unique items that any household has. Let's get started. Hi everyone. So today I'm going to be showing you how to paint a full canvas without using paintbrushes. This is a fun and unique way to paint. It's a fun way to paint with your kids. Even seniors could paint like this. I feel like using paintbrushes, they can be intimidating because there's different strokes and different sizes, different points. But this is fun, unique, and easy. So we're going to get started. So what I'm going to be painting today is I'm going to do a wooden background, and then I'm going to be painting a festive wreath. And I will walk you through step by step, and you can watch me each step painting. We're going to start with the wooden background. So to do the wooden background, you're going to just need a regular household kitchen sponge. Okay, so this is what you need. You'll just need a cup of water. You don't need a whole lot, just a little bit of water. And then for the wood background, you'll just need some basic paint colors. So what I have today is I have white, black, a dark brown, and then kind of like a light caramely color brown. So just acrylic paint, anything you can find at the craft store. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my sponge, and all I will need is about right here, just a little bit wet, because you don't need to use the whole sponge. We just basically need a little section. Just going to get it a little wet here. And it doesn't need to be soaking wet, so just kind of squeeze that out of there. Just needs to be a little damp. And so now I'm going to show you how to get that wood-like look on the canvas. So the paint has to go in certain spots on this sponge. But again, super easy. You'll see how easy it is once you watch me do it. So the first color I'm going to do is this dark brown. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dab it onto my sponge, just like that. Okay, you don't need a whole lot. All right. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to get a little bit of white. So I'm just kind of, you don't want a whole lot of white. You don't want the white to cover up the brown. And the white paint is going to kind of help blend these colors together. Okay. So you just need a little bit of white. And actually, I think I'm going to put a little more brown on there. It's okay to mix the colors because that's what we're going for. So I've still got some white paint in there, looks great. Now I'm going to add some of this light brown. And again, you just kind of want to just kind of dab it a little bit in there. Okay, you don't want a whole lot. All right, you can kind of see it, but trust me, it's in there. Sponges are very absorbent and they're absorbing this paint. So it's in there. So now I'm going to do the black. Now for the black paint, black is a very dominant color and we don't want it to muddy out the rest of our colors. So for the black, all you're going to do is one corner and then the second corner. That's it. You just want the corners. And actually, I kind of want a little more white in there. So again, there's really no rhyme or reason to this, to my madness. I'm just kind of getting my colors set. And when I'm using, as you can see, I'm just using a paper plate. It's easier to dab, it's easier for cleanup, it's just simple. So I'm going to set those colors aside. We may have to come back and get more, but I'm just going to set them aside. So I'm going to start painting. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come to the corner, to the edge of your canvas. And you're just going to want to press down and swipe over. And you're just going to do that a few times. Go back and forth, back and forth. And so what I'm noticing is I don't have a whole lot of white and light brown, and that's okay. Just gonna come back to my palette. I'm gonna get some more white in there. I told you the black is pretty dominating. That's why we only put it on the corners. I'm gonna get some brown and some light brown. All right, I think that should be good. So I'm just gonna go across. And so you don't want to go, you don't want to go diagonal, you don't want to go up and down, you want to go left to right, side to side. And as you can see, these sponges hold a lot of paint. They hold more paint than you realize. I think I'm liking that. Kind of giving it some texture around the edges here, because it's supposed to look like wood, and wood isn't uniform. Wood has texture and different, definition and dimension. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. That was super easy, super simple, and that's my wooden background. If yours turned out a little dark and you don't like it dark, just go back, add some more white. If you want to use the other end of the sponge, do so. Just keep brushing, and that's all there is to it for the wooden background. I'm going to take my paint and my sponge, and I'm just going to set it out of my way. When painting, you do want more of a clean workspace. It's easier. So now I'm going to paint the wreath. So some people, if you want your wreath to be a perfect circle, you can place maybe a small paper plate right here once this dries, or a bowl, and then you can go around. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to eyeball it. Wreaths are, again, like wood. They're not uniform. They're texture. They go off in different directions. I like it if it looks a little rustic and unique. For the wreath, grab another kitchen sponge, and what you're going to do, same thing, you're just going to get it a little wet. Just needs a little moisture. But remember, squeeze some of that water out. We don't want it sopping wet. It just needs to be a little damp. And then you're going to take your sponge, and you're just going to kind of fold it in half. The sponge is dry, so it's giving me grief. Okay. So you're just going to fold it in half, kind of make like a V shape right there, okay? Because this is the part that we're gonna use to paint. So it kind of makes like a stick. So you're gonna want it like that. And then I got my colors here for the wreath. So very simple colors for the wreath. I just have dark green, light green, and then I've got a little bit of yellow. And I've got the yellow added there to give it some light, give it texture, and yellow is part of the green family. So it kind of, you'll see, it'll turn out really cute. What you're gonna do is you are going to take your sponge, the wet part, just kind of dab it, dab, 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 into your greens. No rhyme or reason to this. And then there's a lot of paint on that. We're just gonna dab that off a little bit, just like that. Then we're just gonna get a little bit of yellow, and again, dab that yellow off a little bit. So it's okay if your sponge does not look exactly like mine. Do not worry about, oh, I don't have yellow here or here. It's okay. Again, I'm just gonna freehand it into a circle. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna start dabbing. So you're just gonna dab. Okay, you don't wanna press too hard because it's gonna muddle everything and you'll just have a blob. Okay, you want it to be kinda, textury. Okay, come down here and make it more round. And this is just my base. All right, and I'm gonna try and get as much paint off this sponge as I possibly can. There we go. Finish. So I'm gonna come back, and because I dabbed right here, I'm just gonna try and get some of that back onto my sponge. Don't wanna waste that paint there. So again, no rhyme or reason, just get your colors. You can get really fancy and use all sorts of shades of green if you want, but I like things simple when I'm painting. Let's see, it's looking a little thin down here, so I'm just gonna get my wreath some dimension here. Okay. All right, and now I kind of want more of the dark green. Kind of got missed in that. I'm just gonna dab it off a little bit. Just kind of go on top. Need a little more. Give it some texture. Ooh, got a little bit too much that time. Okay, so I think I'm liking how this is turning out. Now, if you want it more full, you'll expand out. I think I like how it's turning out. It's not a perfect circle, as you can see, but wreaths really aren't perfect circles, okay? So I'm just gonna set that sponge off to the side, and we're gonna move on to our next step. We're going to decorate the wreath. And so what I'm going to do, since this is like a holiday wreath, I'm going to add some ornaments to this wreath. And so what I brought with me today, I have my sponges. So these, you can buy these at any craft store. They're just basically a little sponge on a wooden stick. So I'm gonna use the big one first. These you do not have to get wet for this part. What I'm gonna do, I chose blue as my color. Actually, I need more white. So I'm just gonna get some white paint out. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're just going to dip your sponge straight into that blue paint, okay? There's a lot of paint on that sponge, so kind of just dab it off a little bit wherever you have a blank surface. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your white paint and you're just going to dip half of this stick into that white paint. We don't want the full circle into the white paint, okay? We just want half. And the reason why we want half is it's going to give the ornament kind of like that shimmery look, as if this wreath had, let's say, some string lights on it and the ornaments were reflecting the light. So we're just gonna do just half, okay? Just kind of like that. And again, there's a lot of paint on that, so kind of dab that off a little bit, kind of get it soaked in. All right, so there's that. And now to do the ornament, you're just gonna press down. Make sure you have it on the side. I'll just put one right here, I guess. So you just press down, and then I just kind of give it a little twist. Just kind of get that white and blue to kind of meld together. And there you go. And there's a lot of paint on this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do another one over here. Kind of space them out. And actually, I'm gonna rub that one in a little bit more. It's my first one, so it's gonna be brighter, and I don't want it super bright compared to the others. Put another one right here. And I guess I'll put one up here. I think I'm good with the big ornaments. So I brought about a medium size sponge, And I'm going to do the same process again. Again, don't need to get it wet. Dip it in your blue, just straight down. Kind of dab off that extra paint wherever you can. And then just half in the white paint. And you don't want a whole lot of white, so just like dip, okay? And then kind of dab that off, get some of that excess paint off. It's gonna look like that. And then place it wherever you want. I think I'm going to put one on the outside here a little bit, see if it's poking out from the wreath. Maybe another one over here. Kind of like that. All right. That's how you can put some decoration on your wreath. Now, the cool thing about this is you don't have to use blue. I just chose blue because I thought it looked really pretty with the wood background and the green wreath. You can use any colors you want. I have even had people use, orange paint, and they make little pumpkins and make a Halloween wreath. I've had people make hearts. If you're super creative and good with sponges, you can make little red hearts and do like a Valentine's Day wreath. You could even do shamrocks if you, again, are more talented than me, and do a St. Patrick's Day wreath. So anything goes, but I chose blue. For the final step, I'm going to make some holly berries to add to my wreath. Just kind of fill in these green spaces here. So what you'll need is you'll just need a bundle of Q-tips. Not that many, it doesn't matter. I just grabbed some Q-tips and I went with it. And then you'll just tie them with a rubber band. And so you'll take your bundle, and since I'm doing holly berries, I'm gonna do red paint, okay? So you're just gonna take it, just gonna kind of dab it in there a little bit. Just dab, dab, dab. Kind of get that excess paint off a little bit, and then go to town. So just dab, 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 dab. Just kind of add some berries into the wreath. Okay. Super fun, super easy, no rhyme or reason to it. And it kind of, even using the Q-tips, it gives it a different texture. Like some of the red paint is brighter, some of it's more dull, and it kind of makes it look like the berries are in the wreath, as if they would be if this were an actual physical wreath that you could hang in your home. That's all you do. So again, just get a bundle of Q-tips, dip them in the paint, just kind of dab. You could get, all the little areas if you want. Yeah, so I think I'm pretty happy with that. I like how that turned out. And that is all there is to it, to paint a super simple canvas painting without using any paintbrushes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you followed along with this video, take a picture of what you painted and post it in the comments. If you come up with other unique ideas for painting using sponges and Q-tips, show us, post it in the comments. We'd love to see them. Thanks and have a good day.